Welcome back to the Ultimate Griddle Show. I'm Adam.
I'm Brett.
And we are the Waltwins. In today's episode, we are super excited to bring one of our favorites from the South, Biscuits and Gravy. You want to see us knock this out on the griddle? Stick around while we dig in. While Brett is gloving up, I'm going to go ahead and get right into the groceries. What we're doing on this one, biscuits and gravy, we love to do on the griddle. Now, we like the biscuits. These come from frozen. These are Mary B's. These ones specifically are the butter taste. They also have the buttermilk, which we've done, but these are just frozen biscuits like that. We'll put them right on the griddle. We'll get to that in a second. But also going into this is, for our gravy, we're just using whole milk here. We've got salt, pepper. There's our sausage. We'll be using regular Premier pork sausage in that one, and butter and a little bit of oil.
And flour.
Oh, and flour. So we'll do, this is the way my mom taught me to do a roux. It's almost sacrilegious here in the South the way we do it, but it's how I've always done it, and it works spectacular. So I do for this one, because we're gonna do 4 cups of gravy. Yep. So I'll do 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of our flour, 4 cups of milk, and then salt and pepper to taste. And then we'll get that together and get that thickening. While that's thickening, we'll do the sausage. But before we do any of that, we gotta get these biscuits on the griddle. We'll get them cooking. So we'll use a little bit of butter for this one. So we're gonna start with just a tablespoon of butter here. And all I'm gonna do, this is just to kind of help with the starting cooking process. And the griddle is super hot. We were just doing some resurfacing, fixing it up a little bit. And so I've got it on low now. We want these on low. That's all we're gonna need. So Brett, go ahead and start putting those biscuits. Oh, in fact, I'll put them here because we'll finish them over here. So I don't want that butter to burn and cook right here. There we go. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, there you go, and 4, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we got 8 biscuits is what we're gonna be cooking. There we go, there and there, and there. So all we're gonna do, let this go for about 30 seconds, we'll give them a flip, and then we'll put them up on the rack for about 10 minutes. All right, so it's been about 20 seconds, 30 seconds maybe even for these back ones. These ones are starting, that's all we're doing, just a little browning. That's all we want, just so we've got a little surface, because when we put them on the rack, we don't want them to cook through the rack. It'll stick a little bit, but that's all we're doing. These ones still maybe just a little bit longer, so let's scooch these up.
Yes, Adam and I learned the hard way by putting the soft, doughy biscuits on the rack. They actually puffed up through the rack.
Yeah. So we're being careful with that. That looks pretty good, Brett?
Yep.
Pretty good.
Mighty fine.
Okay, so we're gonna flip those, and then let's grab the wire rack. So Brett, if you'll hold that. So what we're gonna do is now I'm gonna take this. So that's okay, because it doesn't need, this is gonna be the top anyway. Okay, good. And these don't have as much butter on this side. The butter was mostly absorbed on the bottom. So that's okay, we're gonna go 2. Now the key to this is putting these together, because it will promote the growth of these, so they will get bigger together. So all we're doing, we're putting this right over the heat, and we're going to dome this up. So there we go. We'll give that about 10 minutes. All right, so while we got those biscuits going, we got to give them a good 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get our roux going and our sausage. So we're going to come on down here. I'm just putting 4 tablespoons rather of butter in there. So what I like to do is I like to let the butter melt down first. Now, obviously, if we're inside, this is gonna cook a lot faster, but it does work out here on the griddle. All right, my butter is just about melted, looking good. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna whisk in my 4 tablespoons of flour. Just try to get that. All we're doing is just making sure that that flour isn't going to clump. And then Brett's gonna get the 4 cups. We're gonna go 4 cups. So go ahead and do 1 cup right now, Brett, of milk. Thank you. So good. This is just how we want it. There you go.
There, that's going to keep the flour and butter from burning.
Yeah. There we go. And we're going to slowly add in the next 3 cups. In fact, I can turn this down a little bit, man. That's cooking up quick.
Now, I do want to say, pro tip, we had the pot on from the time we turned on the burner.
Yeah. So this was hot.
So the pot got really, really hot, which will help speed up the process. Because if you put the pot on later, it takes a long time for it to come up to temp.
There's 3 cups. Whew, that is hot. Now, this is really thin, but as this continues to warm up and come to a boil, it will thicken up.
Nice and thick.
And we will add our salt and pepper to this. Basically, we're turning this into a pepper gravy. And then we'll go ahead and get the sausage. Brett, you can go ahead and start cooking that sausage too. So all we do is we just plop that down. I give that landing a 2.7.
That's a terrible. Did not stick.
Did not stick the landing. But it stuck on the landing.
It stuck a little bit.
We just re-seasoned this griddle. We didn't use any oil. We could have, but the reason for that, like Brett just said, is there's a lot of fat that's going to render through that and help cook that. So with this, all I'm doing is making sure that none of that flour and butter is sticking to the bottom.
All right,
there we
spend
go.
about 5 minutes on the biscuits and take a quick peek.
Ooh, those are coming up.
They're puffing up just a skosh.
So we're gonna let this go. This will take about 2-3 minutes to cook through. When it gets all the way cooked through, we'll come back. After about 20 minutes, we are done. And in fact, we didn't realize we should have pulled this a little bit. That one's a little crispy. The rest are perfect, just the way we want them.
Kill the heat on those?
Yep, so we'll kill the heat and we can leave those like that. The good thing is this is the darkest one, but the rest turned out really good. Just got a light brown on the bottom. And here's our gravy over here.
We're gonna introduce the sausage to it.
So now the last thing to do is to add, Brett, go ahead and give that a stir so you can see the thickness. It thickened up nice. And we added just salt and pepper to taste to that. And then we're gonna go ahead and just put in all of this. Now we're gonna wanna stir this in for good 5-10 minutes while we let those biscuits cool. And that will get us all those flavors. You see it start to turn color. That is from that pork, the extra grease. We left some of the grease on there on the griddle, and we've got the rest in here. We'll let that thicken up. And by the way, you can chop up your pork as fine, or your sausage as finely as you want. We wanted bigger chunks. It just makes for a better experience. So we'll go ahead and we'll plate these up and get ready to eat.
In all its biscuits and gravy glory.
All of it. And this is exactly the process we always do when we're making biscuits and gravy on the griddle. Like I said, we let those biscuits go a little bit too long. They're a little bit toasty, but you know what? It's not going to impact the flavor at all. It took a lot longer. We used a thicker stainless steel pot. Normally we have a thinner, it goes a little bit quicker.
Exactly.
And so because of that, the gravy's a little bit thinner, but it still turned out perfectly. But Brett, like we say, can look amazing.
This looks absolutely amazing.
Like we say, can smell amazing.
Oh, if we haven't mentioned it, can I get a smell yeah?
Smell, yeah, you can. But if this doesn't taste amazing, this is all for naught.
Hold on, it's good.
Oh, got a little bite there. Cheers. I'll eat to that, my brother. There it is.
That is perfect.
Biscuit's a little crispy, but honestly, it doesn't impact the flavor at all. So good.
My favorite breakfast right there.
But for sure, you got to try this one on your Pit Boss Griddle. If you like this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the Pit Boss channel to find more content like this.
And we'll see you next time on
The Ultimate Griddle Show.